Just wait till you see how this mystery envelope inspired a 2-page layout. Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent close to my heart maker. And today I'm joining with the Makers with Heart for another mystery envelope challenge sent to us by Lori Kutsch. And we had to focus on fall, use at least one of her die cut pieces, and use the color Acorn. And I am coming here today with Make It From the Heart Volume 6, Pattern 15 to create this layout. And I did use, you can see, the pumpkin and Limeade cardstock as part of my layout. And I created a little gnome in a class this weekend at a crop. And I show that in the bottom left-hand corner. And according to the instructions on the layout, I needed to gut well, I didn't have to, but I decided to gut the Scarlet cardstock and save some of it. And then I will use those as photo mats later on in the process that you're seeing. So I went ahead and assembled all these pieces as I should, and I stamped off a whole lot of pieces. Actually, Lori sent ones that were on White Daisy, but I needed it on French Vanilla. So Lori, I hope it's okay that I put it on French Vanilla to match my layout a little bit better instead of White Daisy. But I used every item that you sent and then some in French Vanilla. And so here I'm just lining up where the pictures will go with the other page that I already assembled. And you'll see some of that layout again as I show you the assembled pieces and work my way through on decorating. And what I really want to show you is how I embellished this layout, because anybody can copy a pattern, right? So I have all of these pieces that I stamped off, all of the ones that Lori had, plus the sentiment, and then multiples of the ones that Lori had. So first thing I'm going to do is take my pumpkin ink pad and I'm going to tap it off and just create kind of a shadow behind where I'm going to put my title that says Autumn Splendor. I am very much copying this idea from that Make It From the Heart Volume 6 Pattern 15. They did this on their fall layout. And then since I had stamped this on a separate piece and then cut it out, I'm going to ink it up as well. But I want it to kind of stand out against that shadow that I ink up behind it. And I'm going to ink this up even darker than I have the title. So every month on the 25th of the month, the Makers with Heart have a challenge with an envelope and you have to create something. So it had to be fall theme, and I went to a crop this weekend over in Akron, and we had the Gnomes for Autumn paper pack and sticker sheet. And when I was looking at this mystery envelope, I'm like, this is so perfect. I can use this Gnomes for Autumn paper pack. And then we had a class that was the little gnome girl, and we put that together. And it was a great class taught by fellow maker Laura Puhala. And so you see I have that little girl that what you got a peek at earlier, and I will show you a shot of that again at the end of this video. So what I'm doing now is I had inked up along the base of both pages with toffee ink. Nope, Acorn ink, because I needed to feature the color Acorn. And I put that across the bottom of the two pages, and now I am inking up my sunflowers with Sundance. And then I come in a little later and I use some pumpkin in the middle of them. And even later, I will come in and use one of my tri-blend markers, I believe it was earth brown, to darken up the center of those sunflowers. So we had a few classes this weekend at our crop, and we had a few challenges, and it was a lot of fun. And everything was this fall gnomes theme, and we also had things featured with the color Journey, which is the new color of the year, and that was just beautiful. So here I am inking up with my blending brush in pumpkin two of the pumpkins. So one was darker and then the other one was lighter. And the third pumpkin, I'm going to grab a different blending brush and do it in the Rosemary. And I've seen a lot of those pumpkins that are kind of like green and gray, and I love the contrast. And so I thought that would be perfect. Now I'm bringing back in that Acorn ink again. Since we needed to feature the color Acorn, I used it across the bottom. I used it in the cardstock on the layout, and then I'm using it on the little die cuts that are the acorns, or I'm sorry, the acorn on the little mushrooms. And here I'm tapping on a little Scarlet. I wanted my leaves to be all different colors, so I did that. And then I used my two tri-blend markers, both the yellow-green blend as well as the earth brown blend, Spectrum Noir markers to do the stems on those pumpkins. And I used that earth brown also on the mushrooms in a few different places. I liked that I could make the stems dark or the shadow underneath those mushrooms. A lot of times it's darker inside that cap of the mushroom, and so I did that as well. So I had a lot of fun this weekend at the girls' crop, and Melanie Geisel was another one of the ladies who helped host the crop along with Laura, and she was gracious enough to bring me something to mount my camera on so I could shoot this video for you. So that was great, and I borrowed inks from her. I borrowed inks from Maureen C. That's who invited me to the crop, and she had let me use some of her ink colors that I didn't have, and I borrowed the stamp set from Laura as well because I have the set at home, and then I lost the envelope when I packed, and right before I shot the video I found my envelope because when I went to die cut all of these little pieces, the envelope was hiding inside my die cutting and embossing machine. Of course, the only place I did not look when I was trying to find that mystery envelope. So I guess the mystery this time was finding the envelope. But I was able to give it a nice fall theme. I was able to use the color Acorn quite a bit, and I used at least one of the die cuts. I used a lot of the die cuts, and I just did them with the French vanilla instead of the white daisy so that it didn't have a stark contrast with my base page that I was laying everything out on. So that lightest pumpkin colored pumpkin, I actually mounted up with 3D foam tape. I'm not sure if I've done that yet. And then I just put lots of leaves falling from the title and then along the bottom of the page, and I spread out my little tiniest die cuts along the bottom there, and I just used my adhesive on my all-purpose mat, put the adhesive on them, and then stick them down on the bottom of each of the two pages for the layout. So this was a really fun layout to put together. This is pretty much what I worked on my last day of the crop, and I think I did all right for the challenge, Lori, unless I cheated by stamping all of the images on the French vanilla. So here we go. I cut out some of the footage where it was too repetitive or when I was working on the other side of the layout. But here's a good look at the full layout. Isn't that little gnome girl adorable? That was so much fun. And I used a white gel pen to put the stitching around the little girl. And there's my cluster that made it very fall on my layout. And I hope you'll watch the other ladies who did the mystery envelope. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and you hit that bell to turn on all the notifications so you'll be notified every time I upload a crafty video. Please leave me a sweet comment below and share this video with your crafty friends as well. It's free, why not share it? Have a great day.